Hello, welcome back. This is part 2 of the volume 4 of Career Mode Sheet. We're going to continue on from where we left off the last one. So moving straight on, we're going to the staff tab. So from staff here, you can see you can track your scouts, put how much they cost in, which kind of works out a wage for them as well, because scouts actually earn monthly wages rather than just one-off payment. Same for your youth scouts, you pop them in here, and your coaches, you pop their wages in. This will generate all the costs for your staffing, so that way in your finances later it'll be shown correctly. It also tells you how many regions you've unlocked. So you can see here, I can scout 2 continents. Now, I try to keep both the normal scout and the youth scout in the same sort of areas. So let's say Europe and South America. But obviously, if you want to make it different, you can. But the only way to increase that, to get more continents, back in your upgrades, and you'd have to do an upgrade in your scouting network, and that will allow you to do 3 continents, so you get an extra one, and then 5 for an entire world. Yep. So next, moving on, we've got training. So this is like the previous one, where you fill in your goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders, and forwards. Then you'll use this drop down box and press roll and train, and that will generate a result. So if the players get, basically what I've done, I've updated this now to tell you if they get a development plan or they don't get a development plan. So let's just put Tom in here. You can see on this month he gets a development plan. So always do this at the start of the month. Keep your players listed. If anything changes, you can always take them out, add new people in and things. Jason, Jerry. So, yep, you'll have your players listed. You'll press the roll train, and it'll tell you if they get a development plan or a no development plan. So what this is doing is basically it's telling you if the player is trained well enough to actually earn a development plan. If it says no development plan, all that means is you just place the player unbalanced. They're not going to be like training in their role for the next month or so. And then at the start of the next month, you'll do this again and repeat this action and go through. What this will do, this will stop players just all growing rapidly, and it kind of creates that variable that you need to keep a career different. There's a bug there, so I'll fix that. But what this is going to do, it's going to give you a number of how many personalised fitness plans you get for the month. So what number will generate, so let's say 40, and then you'll put the number in here so you can keep track of it. And then what it is basically saying is when you do the sharpness and the fitness, you'll need to basically, what we do is you put them on all out energy at the start of the season. When your first game plays, you can then at the starting 11 we'll switch to performance focused, and then any subs and reserves go to energy focused. So what this is doing, any of the players are playing, they're getting match sharpness at the cost of not recovering energy. And then the bench, they get energy back, but they lose match sharpness because they're not playing, and the same for the reserves. So by doing this after each game, you get a number of plans where you can change that. So let's say if you've got a striker and his match sharpness is like at 70, he's fairly good, so you're not worried about his sharpness, but his energy is low. You can use one of these number of plans to give him a bit more energy before the next week's game, because you want him to have full fitness so you know you can play him. So what you'll do, you'll keep track of how many ones you're using each week. So in here, we'll say we use 7 the first week, and then another 7 to make it 14, and then the whole team is needed, so it's another 11, so that's 25, and then another 11 to make it 36, and then the final week that only gives you 4 personalised plans because you've got 40. And then what that will make you do is make you rotate your squad, because then you're forced into these situations where, because you've only got 4 plans to use, only 4 of those players are going to get the right fitness. The rest of them are going to lose fitness and not have enough stamina to start the next game. This just helps with like forcing rotation in your squad, along with, like I said, the development plans being kind of mixed up. What you do have though is based on the upgrades page on which one you've selected. So at the moment it's good. You can see you get these development plans and position changes. So with these development plans, you can choose 3 players, and this is at the start of the season or whenever after the transfer window, whenever you want to do it. But basically, let's say we choose Tom, Jason, and Jerry. I give them a development plan, whichever I want, and these results don't affect them. So I'll usually mark them in a colour, like I'll mark them pink or something, just so I know which player has got one of these specialised development plans. Or you can even just write their name underneath. Position changes, same thing. You can only change that many position changes per season. So let's say Jerry, we're moving him from he was a defender, he's going to go to a midfielder, or a left winger or something. We just put his name there. And then we can, like I said, once again, just mark him a colour just to kind of know keeping track. He's yellow. And that's basically how the training would work for you. And this kind of, like I said, forces rotation, makes you actually think about who you want to play, and it'll make you think, oh, okay, maybe that next game isn't as important, so I can drop him into the bench and give him a rest without having to use a development plan, a personalised fitness plan. Some players won't grow as quickly as the normal because the development plans aren't on there every month, and you might get unlucky and a player doesn't get any development plans for the course of the season, or 1 or 2, so they just don't grow as much. In which case, then if you move up a league, you might want to start trying to replace them rather than just knowing that they're going to grow into a suitable standing. So yeah, this helps vary the training. Okay, next is youth. So with the youth, what I tend to do is I send the scouts out to wherever, and they come back with their results. But I only send them on 3-month plans. Now you can do that for longer if you want to do 6 month or 9. But at the end of when they come back with their results, they'll have a list of a number of players. Basically, I empty the youth team, so there's nothing in there. And then what I'll do is, let's say the first one comes back and he's telling me he's got 8 different results. So I'll press roll. And it'll say 70, so that's too high, so we need to find a number 6. Okay, so then I'll go down to the 6th player on that result sheet and I'll sign them. Doesn't matter if I even look at the stats or anything, I'll just sign them. And that player then goes into my youth team. What this will do, this will stop you from just absolutely filling your youth team with players who've got ridiculously high potential from start. You'll get a variance. So you'll get some players that are coming through your youth team who will be not even worth looking at, so you'll release them. Some that will be actually like you can actually add into your squad and might use them now and again, and then some that will be when you actually find that high potential player, it'll feel like a gem, it'll feel like a real capture rather than just being another one off the list. So you'll add the player's details onto here. You'll need to do this for 2 reasons. A, it'll help you keep track of that player in all details, but also this number here is helping generate the costs for the youth team. The more youth players you have, the costs go up. You've got a max number of youth players you can have because the basis of your youth coaches. So as you can see here, because on the upgrades page, my youth scouts are currently at 10. It means when I go to the youth page, I can only have 10 youths in my youth team. Yep, and that's it for the youth. I'll leave that here for this page, and then we'll go for a 3rd video doing the calculators, and then the last one will be for the finances. So I'll see you in the next one.